If you're looking to dish the cold and plan a sunny getaway, the D.C. area has more options than ever in 2025. And joining me now to share the new top domestic flights and international destinations is resident travel expert and friend to the show, Troy Petenbrink. Always good to see you.
Good to see you, Maureen.
A lot of new nonstop flights coming to the area. Let's drive our name, BWI, the main place. Let's start there.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. You know, when I have a cheat sheet, you definitely know there's a lot.
We got to pay attention.
The news about BWI is the fact that you will be able to travel to the West Coast more than any time before.
Wow.
I mean, we got flights going from Sacramento, Long Beach, Ontario, Portland, San Francisco, San Jose, and Seattle. So it's crazy. That's all with Southwest, which is really great because, again, you get those lower airfares. What's also good about having those lower airfare carriers come into a market, it actually drives down the cost of the legacy carriers.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. Perfect example of that, moving on to DCA.
Yeah.
We have a new flight to Las Vegas for the first time with Southwest. Give you an example. That is traditionally a $550 round-trip flight on American Airlines. With Southwest, that will cost you $350.
All right, now.
So much cheaper. Also, again, West Coast on the DCA, San Francisco, San Antonio, which I'm really excited about. Love that. Love the Riverwalk. Seattle and San Diego with Alaska Airlines. So much easier to get to the West Coast than ever before.
Let's not leave out Dulles because there's some new things happening there,
too.
too.
Yeah, lots of exciting things happening in Dulles. If you're not familiar with Allegiant Airlines, they're a low-cost carrier, very similar to Southwest, Frontiers. I really like them. I've flown them a couple times. Really nice folks. They have some flights coming in. That's Savannah, Knoxville, Destin, and Asheville. Some of those are the first time you can fly direct to those destinations. That's really exciting. They also have United's going up to Ithaca up in New York, so that's really cool. Looking down at some of the international stuff, that's exciting. Spain, that used to be a seasonal flight. That's going to be round trip. That's with Iberia. Amman, Jordan. We had that flight with United for a while. It stopped because of some of the problems that were happening in the Middle East. Now you're going to be able to go back to Jordan. That's pretty exciting. London on British Airways. Venice, Italy. More flights to Africa than ever before. We'll be able to head over to Senegal and Nice, France. Those are all coming in terms of international flights, so that's pretty exciting.
I'm surprised that British Airways is just now going to London
No, that's a new flight they're adding. They're actually going to be three times daily, so that's really exciting. And again, remember, when we bring in more of these flights, it brings down the cost. Now, interesting that you mentioned London. One of the things I want to talk about there for folks who may not be familiar.
New rules.
New rules. There's actually a fee to go to London now. Even to transfer through London, you must pay their ETA, which is an electronic travel authorization tax. It's about £10, but you must pay that to be able to fly to London or through London. It's good for about 2-3 years, I believe, but you have to have that. There's also a fee coming through if you're going to the EU. That's going to come later this year. One of the things about this, if you don't pay these, you're going to run into all sorts of problems trying to travel, potentially missing flights, that sort of thing. And same thing here. A lot of people have been hearing about this for years. It's finally happening. You will have to have a real ID to fly domestically. I can tell you, come May, a lot of folks are going to be like, I didn't know about this. I'm like, I don't know how you didn't know about this. We've been screaming it for a while.
For a couple of years
but
now,
you're going to miss some, we're going to see some people missing some flights and things. It's going to take up to 3 hours if you do not have a real ID to get through the airport.
And I mentioned passports. I mean, don't forget, you've got to renew those too.
Oh my gosh, so many people pull out that passport and they're like, oh, I got plenty. Oh, no, I don't. You know? And let me tell you, I will say the State Department's gotten really good about catching up on the backlog. So you can get your passport fairly quickly, about 6 weeks or so. But one thing I need to remind folks, that expiration date is actually not your real expiration date. Most destinations require you to have at least 6 months remaining on your passport. So definitely pay attention to that.
All right, Troy Petenbrink is the gay traveler. That's where you can find him. As always, thank you so much. You got to come back and give us a lowdown on how to travel and do it well.
Yes. I'm always excited for that.
All right.